What's 6 inches? Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmaster, honored guest, after an extensive research, an extensive research one morning over coffee and a donut, I concluded that what separates a hero from a zero, or if we prefer, a loser, is 6 inches. You've all heard about these 6 degrees of relation. I'm saying there's 6 inches between a winner and a loser. To prove this theory today, I have 3 stories. No, 3 true stories that I found during my extensive research. The first story comes from my wife, Carol. She's a great source of stories, of information. Carol is a nurse. And one morning when she was helping her friend Lise, also a nurse, do her around, they discovered a patient with a wound. They don't like open wounds in hospital. Right away they got into action. Carol started to write the notes while Lise was doing the observation. So Carol asked, okay, where's the location of the wound? Inside wrist, right hand. Mm-hmm. And what type of wound is it? It's a fissure, skin crack. Mm-hmm. And what's the length of this wound? Lise looks at, that's about 6 inches. Carol looks at her and says, that's not 6 inches. It's not even 4 at most. Lise replied, well, it's not my fault. That's what my husband's been telling me all my life. Carol and the patients were in stitches. And 30 minutes later, this story was known all around the hospital. Now, Lisa's husband cannot go to any hospital function without being asked about the 6 inch. Nurses are a great source of stories and information. And Lise was telling me something that happened to her a few years back. It happened during shift change in front of the nurses' station, when all the nurses were there, all the day nurse and the evening shift nurse were there at the station. And I have to tell you for the story that Lise is a rather tall woman, full-figured tall woman. She was walking in front of the station when Dr. Gray was coming on the other side. Dr. Gray is not a rag doll. Actually, Dr. Gray is a really, really good-looking guy. A lot like this guy. And in awesome, awesome shape. A lot like this guy. But rather short. Dr. Gray was coming on the side. Lise coming this way. Dr. Gray had a great speed, come around the corner and runs into Lise. Cleavage, where he stayed embedded between her breasts. Lise insists that his legs were still going at 100 miles an hour. After a second or two, Lise pops him out of there while saying, "Not very tall, are we?" All the nurses at the station were turning blue, trying not to laugh, while Dr. Gray was turning 50 shades of red. Had he been just 6 inches taller, they would have got into an embrace, and these would have been the envy of every nurse there. Instead, they cannot be seen in the same room without somebody giggling. Poor Dr. Gray, he just had started there at the hospital. Reminded me of when I started to work at GD. Not as a nurse. I started to work at GD and there was an intramural softball league there. I had played softball all my life. I was pretty good. I thought to myself, I'll join one of the team and really impress them. So I did. Joined one of the team. First night, things were going as planned. I was center field, catching every ball coming my way, getting on base at every at-bat. Sixth inning. The ball is hit my way, and hit good. I know I can't just back up and get to it, so I had to turn and run as hard as I can, planning an over-the-shoulder catch. When I got to where I knew the ball was going to land, I looked up, just in time for the ball to hit me square in the head and bounce 30 feet away. In the words of the great philosopher Homer, don't! Had I looked up just 6 inches earlier, I would have made the perfect catch. I would have been a hero. Instead, I had the imprint of the ball on my forehead. To this day, there are guys at work that call me Stitch. Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmaster, I rest my case. Had I looked up just 6 inches earlier, had Dr. Green been just 6 inches taller, had that wound been just 6 inches longer, us zeros would have been heroes.